Welcome to Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. In John 10:14, Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and they know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I will lay down my life for my sheep." My friends, we are glad you're here to learn more about our Good Shepherd. We are a growing congregation rooted in the Word and Sacrament and Lutheran tradition. My name is Nicole Hoplin, and I, along with my husband Eric and our 3 little boys, were new members of Good Shepherd just 5 years ago. So I was in your shoes not long ago, visiting this great church for the very first time. I'm delighted to show you around today. But you should know, the church building is more than just a building, more than just the facilities and the rooms inside. The church, what makes it special, are all the people, who you are not going to see at all today. The church is empty, to give you an unvarnished, close-up look at this beautiful campus. Before we walk inside Good Shepherd Lutheran Church, I'd like to share a little bit of history with you about the church. You'll see down here the cornerstone, dedicated to the glory of God on June the 1st, 2008. In church history, a cornerstone was actually the first stone that was put down upon which the church's foundation would be built. But actually, our church goes back about 50 years. So welcome, we're glad you're here. So come along, join me. Let's take a peek inside. We have now made our way into the narthex of our church, which is a fancy word for saying foyer or entry. The moment you walk through those doors, you will be met by your very own welcome crew, members of Good Shepherd Church who are eager to greet you with a good morning and to learn a little bit more about you. So to the extent that you're comfortable, please say hello. Tell them a little bit more about you. We're eager to know the new faces who are coming through Good Shepherd's open doors. Now let me tell you about one other thing that might be helpful. If you look over here, there are elevators, making the lower level of our church accessible to anyone who needs it. You have now made your way into our beautiful sanctuary. It is at this point that an usher will be here to greet you and hand you one of these. It's a handy program that will help guide you through our worship service. You can read all about the hymns of the day, the readings of the day, some about the leaders of our church, the activities upcoming in the given week. Even those of you who have birthdays or anniversaries are pointed out in the program every week. For those of you who have small children who may need a little bit of help getting through a full service, we have these excellent activity bags standing on little trees right in the beginning of the sanctuary. For example, you might want a little lovey cow. There's also some books in here on the stories and miracles of the Bible. All sorts of things to keep your little ones engaged so you too can enjoy the worship service. I also wanted to call your attention to our baptismal font. The baptismal font is a reminder of the sacrament by which we all enter the family of God. One of my favorite things is to watch a baptism unveiling on a Sunday morning as the pastor invites all the children from throughout the church to come and gather back here to be witnesses to this special moment. You'll see our baptismal font has 8 sides representing eternity and the eternal promise God has made. Our stunning sanctuary is an inspirational setting to experience worship and prayer. The centerpiece of our sanctuary is the crucifix, which you see up there, reminding us that we are all sinners and Christ died for our salvation. I also wanted to share with you the beautiful stained glass windows. They represent the grand sweep of the biblical story of redemption, from the fall of Adam and Eve to his glory in heaven, which appears right up there. There is a brochure in our entry that details every single one of the windows and how it portrays in the biblical story. I'd encourage you to take a peek at that. Welcome to the choir loft. You know, when my husband and I first started coming to Good Shepherd Lutheran Church, we were absolutely blown away by the quality of the music that enriched every single worship service. From the youth choir, which takes place with little tykes who are just in kindergarten, all the way up to the handbell choir, the sanctuary choir, the praise band, many musicians in between, and even the organist. The music here absolutely enriches every single worship service. Speaking of the organ, this is a very special instrument, and while you can't hear it today, you certainly can take a peek at it. Complete with 2 manuals, 33 ranks, 1,872 pipes made of spruce and cherry by Martin Ott in his workshop in St. Louis. All this is to say, it is an absolutely incredible instrument, and you just have to come and take a listen. Here at Good Shepherd, we do as Ephesians 5 tells us, we communicate with psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit. To orient yourself, we've now left the sanctuary. Come take a peek with me what's down this hall. I don't know about you, but I can remember faces, but not always remember names. So here at Good Shepherd, we have name tags throughout. So all the members of Good Shepherd Lutheran Church will help you out a little bit by wearing a name tag. If you'd like, you can make one for yourself too. That way everybody will know exactly who you are. And during our services, should you need to store winter coats or boots or hats, especially when it's cold outside and you're all bundled up, we do have a coat closet here that you can take advantage of. As we continue down the hallway, we are making our way to the fellowship hall. But first, I wanted to mention a few things about these helpful bulletin boards. These contain information about what's happening at our church at any given time, information about missions. There are sign-up sheets in case you'd like to volunteer your time and talent. There are places where you can even sponsor Sunday flowers, for example, during a worship service. There's also a set of restrooms right here on this level. They also have another set of restrooms on the opposite end of the church as well, making it very convenient. But let's join us in the fellowship hall for a bit and have a look around. Here we are in the fellowship hall, which is a big multi-purpose space where our community can gather. Or if you're my 3 boys, they call it the donut room, because every Sunday after worship services, we gather in here for coffee, conversation, and of course, a few donuts along the way. This is an awesome space that is used for many different reasons. But before I go into that, I wanted to call your attention to a great service project that's being done right now. You can see the local food pantry is taking donations of food and other items for people in need. That's one of the great things about this community, is coming together to help those around us in our community. But I also wanted to share a little bit more with you about the decor of this room, something that goes back to our church's early roots. We're still in the fellowship hall, and I wanted to point out this beautiful decor. Women of Good Shepherd learned the craft of stitching from a specialist at Washington National Cathedral. These were the first altar rail kneelers in our previous building. They've since been framed and adorn these walls to give us a beautiful look at the many talents that God has made possible here at Good Shepherd. In the fellowship hall, many events take place throughout the year to bring our community together. In addition to service projects that we do on Big Serve Sundays throughout the year, we also have many other events, like an annual chili cook-off in the wintertime with bingo, where M&M chips are used to play the game. We also have a holiday shop with a pasta dinner to benefit our youth programs, Vacation Bible School. We also have Bible studies that take place in here. But one of the most important things that takes place in here I wanted to call your attention to. While traditional worship takes place every single Sunday in the sanctuary, we have a Sunday praise service that takes place in here. It's a little bit more informal with contemporary music, and it takes place on the second and fourth Sundays of every month. So many people at Good Shepherd share their many musical talents with us, and here is where they rehearse and get ready for their big performances. Here we are in the youth room, which is on the lower level of our church. It is the hub of activity for our youth here at the church. We want every student to become a devoted, world-changing follower of Christ. Our youth ministry seeks to meet the spiritual, emotional, and social needs of those in grades 5 through 12. We've now made our way to the multi-purpose room in the lower level of the church. This is where we also can gather for functions. In fact, this is where the Sunday school kids begin their day with praise and worship every Sunday morning. But we also have some special programs and performances that take place here, like the pop-up Christmas pageant, for example. One of the other things the kids do, which is such a special part of our community here, is Big Serve Sunday. They make sandwiches and other meals for those in need. And all of that takes place down here. Welcome to this small chapel, a place for reflection and prayer, praise and thanksgiving. It's also a small space that is used for our preschool because they can come in here and enjoy some worship time, learning about Bible lessons in a smaller, less intimidating setting. We are at the home of Good Shepherd Lutheran School, a preschool that focuses on the whole child to provide a nurturing, Christ-centered education. It welcomes kids ages 2.5 through 5, where each child is celebrated individually and encouraged by word and example. They learn letters, language, numbers, science, art, and more. This is a way for us to blend worship here at Good Shepherd Lutheran Church with an educational community. And what a special combination that is. How awesome is it for our little ones to have a place to come to play outside during the middle of a preschool day? This great playground gives them a chance to burn off some steam. Here we are in the library, a place where you can find resources on your pressing questions. Perhaps you need a little inspiration. Maybe you want to learn a little bit about Christian education. There are many, many books and periodicals in here to take a peek at. There are answers to many of your questions. I urge you to take a peek inside of here. There's also a small restroom should you need to run out during the service. This is the administrative center of our church, where you will find many of the church offices and where our staff works. There are also some other important rooms that I wanted to call your attention to. For parents especially, children are always welcome in our worship services, but sometimes you might want another option. And there are two here at Good Shepherd. We have a nursery, which is staffed by attendants every single Sunday, where you can drop your children off. And we also have a parents' room, where nursing mothers can come, or parents with wiggly children who want to participate in the service can watch it on a television. Thank you for joining me for this virtual tour of Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. We hope you enjoyed your time around. If you should have any questions at all about our programs, our facilities, or our worship services, please contact us anytime. We hope to welcome you to our campus soon. Until then, enjoy watching our services virtually. May the Good Shepherd bless you and your loved ones.